We'll call the meeting to order. Ms. LeBlanc, would you do the invocation?
Sure. Okay. No. Oh. All right. Heavenly Father, fill us with your spirit and courage so that we might bring our talents and gifts to this important work. Open our minds to the task at hand. Open our ears to each other. Open our hearts to your will. We make this prayer in your name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll do the roll call.
Commissioner LeBlanc present.
Commissioner Gardner present.
Commissioner Burton present. Commissioner Timmis present.
Thank you. Who swears in Mr. Count?
I do.
All right. I couldn't remember if it was you or me.
Is it time for that?
Time for that. What are we going to
So
do
do you
now?
have your,
Just sit down.
Yeah, that'll work. Yes, that way I can get it.
It may not be on.
How do we turn it on?
There's it on.
Okay.
so that we can. Well, maybe I'll just do that.
Do I read it or you read it?
I'm going to read it and you're going to repeat after me.
No shake.
Yes, yes, you come up here and place your, that's right hand on the Bible.
Right hand?
Yes.
Right hand.
You might, yes. Raise your hand? Yeah, that's fine. All right, so I, Johnny Co-Count,
I, Johnny Counts,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, protect, and defend
that I will support, protect, and defend
the Constitution and government
the Constitution and government
of the United States
of the United States
and of the state of Florida,
and of the state of Florida,
that I am duly qualified
that I am duly qualified
to hold office
to hold office
under the Constitution of the state,
under the Constitution of the state,
and that I will well and faithfully perform
and I will well and faithfully perform
the duties of the Anastasia Mosquito Control District Commissioner,
the duties of the Anastasia Mosquito Control District
Commissioner, on which I am now about to enter.
on which I am now about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
We have one quarter four ball. One set it up. Okay. Left side and you follow.
Okay, I think that's good.
Hair, okay?
Weren't you guys smiling? I know, it's worn off.
You're in trouble already. No, it's on.
Yeah, it's automatic.
Yeah, it's on automatically. Okay. All right, this, if we have public comments, now would be the time that, Someone could-
New commission can statement and
yes.
introduce themselves.
Do you have something to say for us?
I guess I need to introduce myself. a
Yes, you
little
do.
bit.
Tell us all about it.
My name is Johnny Counts. I'm from Cracker Swamp, which is in the southwest corner of St. John's. My wife is Gina. She's there. I got 3 granddaughters there. My oldest daughter, Cheyenne, who's 6. Anyway, I'm glad to be a part of this. I'm a constitutionalist at heart, and I believe we all need to be involved in our government, and especially at the local level, because that's the closest to aspire to do is be involved that way. And I hope I can be beneficial to this board and to this district, and I'm glad to be here.
Thank you so much. All right. Now I'm going to assume we don't have any public comments. However, if we do, this would be the time when we would have a speaking period for 5 minutes. Okay. Can we get approval of the agenda? Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
I will motion to approve the agenda.
All right.
I will second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All righty. And can we get approval of the consent agenda?
Just want to clarify, we have removed certain things from the consent agenda and put them to unfinished business, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, I just want to put that on the record.
Yes.
With that, I will move to approve the consent agenda.
All right.
I will second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. And the first item is unfinished business. Ms. Genzi, would you like to come up and talk to us about the Education Center?
Right.
I thought it was.
All right, guys. Hello, my name is Jency Monzon. I am our Disease Vector Education Centers Coordinator. I am under our Science and Education Department under Dr. Joseph DeClaro. So today I'll be talking about our operations for year 2. We've had quite a big growth. So our first year was focused on building our programs, finishing our display pieces and so forth. We have built something quite amazing, I would like to say. Thank you. And overall, I think we've also strengthened our programming this year. We shifted our focus to refinement, of course. So we wanted to enhance visitor engagement. We wanted to be there for the community. We also went as far as launching our digital footprint because we were using our old AMCD platform to help grow us in that regard, get more visibility, and then we launched right before our first year our own social media footprint. So going into our visitor growth, our growth is definitely exponential. It keeps growing. This year we have had, as of December 18th, 11,900 visitors. As of yesterday, our numbers are already at 12,422. I easily see us being just under, if not exceeding, 13,000 visitors this year. Our first year, we had about 10K, and this is not including education events. So that includes field trips and any organization that has decided to come use our facility for any sort of educational event. So far, we've had 1,500 participants this year for that, and we still have 16 more events pending. And when I say our annual, we go from March, because that's when our first grand opening was. And I decided to do March to March just to have that 12-month data for that first year. I plan to kind of do regular January to December after our third year just to get that first initial data. Now, looking at attendance, our summer is definitely our peak season. So that's true for most of the district. We had about 8,000 visitors from May to August. And that's a 55% increase from last year. So we are now tracking if a guest is a return visit or a first-time visit. And I hope to increase metrics for that data to kind of get an idea of how we're serving the community in that sense. So out of all of our visitors for year 2, we had about 79% be new first-time visitors. And I noticed that a lot of those returning visitors were telling their friends, telling their families. So word of mouth was very powerful. But my focus in the first year was also marketing. So we used our brochures. I expanded on that with PR. We made new business cards because people kept asking about us. They wanted to follow us. They wanted to know what events we were doing. So I made this little business card with all of our socials on the back. We give that out. It also has our Wi-Fi. People are very grateful for that. For our social media, we have about 470 followers on Facebook now since our big launch in March of 2025. And we have about 100 and something followers on Instagram. People are interacting with our posts. They are using it to keep track of our events. And I now have launched our monthly post on educational resources. So we're posting on disease vectors, as that example shows. We did one on kissing bugs. We did one on ticks. And we're using AMCD's social media to cross-platform and help each other out on spreading information on mosquito-borne diseases and reaching out to the community in that way. We hope to foster engagement here. I want to make more interactive posts for our guests and hope to continue serving them the way that we should, right? I went as far as going into our educational programming. I was very passionate about this. We decided to utilize this app called BlueKit. A lot of teachers use it in their classrooms, and it helps to start tracking real-time learning retention. So I'll do feature creature. That's the one I wanted to try out first to see how this would work. And I talked about one of the arthropods in our live examples in the display section. And the kids had a kick out of seeing hissing cockroaches up close and personal. So we also are planning to use this for mosquito cravings, where I talk more in depth about what makes someone a mosquito magnet, why we need to wear repellent, what options they can use. And I plan to incorporate this into that to help gather public audience, kind of a retention of this information. So we hope to foster that with our community. I also have a scavenger hunt that we redesigned. It started out as a single packet when I first started up on our first year. And it now evolved into a 3-tier passport system. So it goes easy, medium, hard. And we have different little cute reward systems for the kids. The parents like to do this with them as well because they get a chance to explore the facility while they're looking for things on the scavenger hunt. There's also challenges, which offer a educational format for that. So level 1 and 2 for that first one. And there's 3 subunits for each of them. I plan to expand this on a digital format. That way the kids can still get a physical passport. And I could build this onto other activities for adults, for example. So I hope to continue to grow this programming for us. As far as construction and exhibit updates, our first anniversary, we managed to complete all of our sections. We have been adding some of our other displays. We finished our outdoor bee signage, mounted lights onto those little magnifiers right there. We just finished our slat wall, which is now fully functioning, and we're redoing our ant farm. The bottom section I am doing myself, and we try to do a lot of this in-house. I also procured a lot of those specimens with help of our collaborators at University of Florida and other local places that reached out to that have been very helpful with this initiative. So looking at our future plans, we were successful in becoming an autism center. This has been an initiative that St. Johns County has been trying to do for a lot of the agencies and organizations in the area. And we're going as far as developing sensory kits. I'm actually going to try and collaborate with organizations like the ARC in St. John's. And we're going to pitch this idea and launch it once we get the chance to do that. For a grant idea I have, I'm looking into a digital app for us, an online portal. I would also like to explore our more automative factors, right? Looking at our automation and AI capabilities, we're looking at our current robot, which works as kind of like a reception. It helps people navigate different sections. We're also looking at the creation of pre and post surveys for those education events. I think that'd be very helpful to kind of gather information from those events and working with the school board in that sense. So I would like to thank everyone, our commissioners, for your continued guidance and support. Our team, AMCD, during those overwhelming visitor fluctuations, sometimes we average 200 people a day. We have our very strong team, all the way from people from ops, which is very helpful for guests to interact with because they get an idea of how it is for our team to go out there and do spraying and so forth. To our bio team to come in and help and assist us. I am our only full-time employee dedicated over there, so it's very awesome that we have the support within us. Working with local organizations, UF, all these great collaborators and so much more that I didn't get to list on there. But I really appreciate having this opportunity and working with this place. I'm really passionate about it and thankful to have been a part of it. So.
Does anyone have questions or comments?
Well, that was a pretty good rundown there, Gabe.
Thank you.
Gave me a good update. I needed it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank you, guys.
Jensey, appreciate that.
Chair. Yeah, other than the board book include one sheet, there's a commission teams, a couple months, November asked about the casting and overseeing or not. So it's the detail, as the commission team to see, and we said it to him, yeah. So now it's in the board book, we didn't know overseeing, everything on the budget, everything on schedule. Thank you, that's for
Appreciate that.
information.
Thank you.
Can I say something?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Whatever.
Scott Hanna, CFO, Anesthesia Mosquito Control. My sister is a retired registered nurse, and she has like 12 grandchildren. And when it's like $22 for the alligator farm per child, they cannot get enough of this place. They love it, man. And they just, yeah, they come here all the time. And then they ask me a lot of questions about mosquitoes when I'm at the dinner table or visiting. So it's really a great thing. It's a great accomplishment. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We can all be proud of it. All right, Dr. Shu?
Thank you. This is a new regulation 2 years ago requires that any organization, especially special district, have to publish a 5-year strategy plan. So the way last published 2000, now is for 2026 and 2030. So the major that we have 5 goals. And the stress, what's the stress integrated mosquito management? So we more use current technology, and the number 1 executive summary. We have 5 major goals. Expand data-driven surveillance, and adopt the precise control tools in ground and air with SOP. And that we have done all ground application, everything SOP ready. Now Dr. Core and helicopter air work on helicopter drone SOP. So that should be finished soon. Then number 2, the advanced research innovation, and the leader plan start in arbovirus detection. So looking for more new technology and insect resistance. We still the last few years started, but we need to continue, need to doing more better. And the emerging technology by AI, especially AI technology, I believe next 5-10 years, that's a leader, it's a bigger revolution, technology. So that all the remote things and robotic technology. So last you can see many robotic technology, robotic taxi and medicine automatically. This is the long future, the direction. We need to do some investment in people and the intelligence and get the training and update our equipment something. Number 3, expand the public education and the community engagement, increase outreach through the disease vector education center and the digital platform. So currently, just listening to very successful, also more than we expected. Beginning, I just thought maybe 10, 15 people per day. Now it's lots of people. So very good response, yeah. We're very happy, thank you board and former board, current board, work together and make just, that's the number 1 mosquito vector education center in the USA, even impact the international. So that's very, very, very successful. Also, we're looking for more promoted citizen science. Like you can see the weather, you can see the report, everything very clear. How about future have any disease through a cell phone, you can inform the residents. So your area, your neighbor have more mosquito and some trouble related dengue fever. They give you risk assessment, some kind of warning. So they try to more protect people, inform people. So that's a new technology we try to figure out and outreach citizen science. So number 4, the build organization capacity and workforce development, invest in the training, technology, infrastructure to support excellence. So we are 95% building finished, but it's a group, lots of construct, lots of the vehicle, truck, battery, shower server commission already. Hopefully next 4 years we build a storage and really safe and only, that's in my plans, next 5 years only 1 building. We can look at what's happening, we can more, this year we started more feasible start, and make sure we continue budget about this. So number 5, foster the partnership. Currently we partnership with 2 CDC center, Gulf South Center, also Southeast Accident Center, CDC, 1 for research education, 1 for outreach, like New Orleans. So the most for outreach education, our education center is the best for them. Now the copy idea, they wanted to get build one thing with in New Orleans. So we try campaign, try to get more money. So it's sustainable funding. We need to increase more cooperation. I know since this year, grant opportunity more less, so not like before. So usually we get a CDC funding, Department of Agriculture, and Cooperation Edge funding, even international funding. We got about $500,000 per year. But if since this year, we probably get a little bit more, we need to figure out what's going on. Or the government current property tax, the bill, let's look at what's happening, people vote. We need a very, very more consider with our money. We don't want there's no money. How can we do that work? You have to be very careful about spending. They try to except looking for money or resource, or also try to save and cut any corner to save money to keep the business running, keep the quality life service. So that's basically also need more transparency. Currently, that not only website, Facebook, everything, we government should under everybody watch. We spending tax money, we very, very careful, everything need transparency, yeah. So the bylaw requires that only your social security number and the medical history, not export rights, all public record requests. Anytime any people has any question, anything requested, we welcome, we provide, no any doubt about it. Or it's about member, anytime you elected and appoint the officer, anything you need, just let us know what we can help. More, any information we provide. We make your job easy, try to protection of people, make Xinjiang County mostly best live in the county to live here. So thank you. And that's why it doesn't need a vote, just need a very detailed 26 page, lots of item, more detail. So you have time, if you have any question, any suggestion, we can update, we can change it. So we try to, even publish, we still update. Plan, definitely need to have a plan. Then you have a plan, you can change any time. You can improve every year following the situation, budget, anything can change. Thank you, appreciate anytime you can give, you can meet me, you can call me, you can email me, and find anything, we can still update. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shu. Okay. Now, the lobbying firm.
Okay, the lobby forum that, the member meeting, we have the board give is direction to work out the RFP request for proposal. Yesterday, we did the Winton and Dr. Cole and business manager, Mr. Richard Weaver. So we based on all the made some change of data. That's the purpose only get your authority, board authority, go ahead and we release. Just like publish job opportunity, let everybody apply. Then we can, the recommendation or interview board make a recommendation, then make a decision, then lawyer we work on for the contract detail. That's only just need authority, board need to vote on. Yes, go ahead. Or you have something here. Thank you, the lawyer today to point out something, miss some couple of information. So we will touch it when we publish a website and go into the law for publish, we'll touch it. That'll be fine, yeah. Just need authority, go ahead, we can publish. So that detail we will work with the lawyer, yeah. Thank you.
So if you want to discuss it now, or do you need to? No, we're not. No,
Well,
No, we're not voting on it. We just, right.
Yeah,
Right.
then I can work with Dr. Schuman's staff.
Right.
to Add my legal changes to the document.
Correct, yes. Thank you.
So it'll be presented for vote at some point?
After she has a chance to.
Okay, gotcha. Understood.
We jumped the gun on that.
No,
Okay,
just a table for next meeting.
Yes.
okay.
Okay, thank you, there's no rush.
Yeah.
So the legislation finish in March, yeah.
Right.
So we still have time, yeah, lots of time.
Exactly. Okay, so under new business, we need to elect officers for the coming year. And do we have anyone who'd like to run besides me for chairman? Ms. LeBlanc? You would be, unfortunately, you have to be here a year.
One
There's
year.
only,
Only you two qualify.
and only us to qualify, and she's not willing to bail me out. I can tell. All right,
Silence is golden.
That's right.
all right.
Are you guys comfortable with that rule? I have no desire to be chair, God bless you. Thank you. But are you guys comfortable with that rule? I mean, if,
Well,
we've had a lot of turnover, and that's the issue.
right, hopefully we won't have so much turnover in the future, right?
Yeah.
But, I mean, we'd have to do a policy change, right?
Yeah.
But currently, your policy states that you have to at least have served for a year before you can hold that.
So that would automatically put y'all chair and vice chair.
Well,
Is that only for the chair?
Subject.
only,
Only
Yeah,
chair.
so
You
vice
can run,
chair,
you can
yeah.
do vice.
I don't want to do that.
would you like to be vice chair?
Well, I was going to nominate, actually, Tim.
Ah, I think Tim would make an excellent.
I think Tim would make
Yes.
a fine vice chair.
I would love to do it.
All right. Do we need to vote, or we just, okay,
I think, yeah,
okay,
Dr. Pauls would appreciate a motion.
Well,
okay.
hold on to one question.
All right.
What does that entail?
If I get sick, you got it.
You're not getting sick anytime
I'm
soon,
not
are
getting
you?
sick.
Okay.
Okay, I'd like to nominate Tim Burton to be vice chair. Do we have a,
I'll second
all righty. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right.
Aye.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Also, ask for a motion to reappoint you as the chair.
Yes. Could we have could someone make a motion?
I'm
to
making a
reappoint?
motion.
Thank you.
Appoint you as chair.
All right, thank you. And do we need a second in the vote or not?
You do.
Okay,
Yes.
I'll make the second.
all right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So now I think, we'll also
Secretary Treasurer?
I'd like to nominate Anthony Timmis for the secretary.
Second chair?
Yes.
Secretary.
Uh,
Oh,
the,
secretary. Now,
secretary.
what does that entail?
Sign off on.
Basically filling out a form every meeting?
The
Some minutes,
secretary
signing off on
can
minutes,
do the
things
same
like
one.
that.
Signing off on minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you. We have a board.
Multiple.
I'm sorry, through the chair, there's, so the secretary, just to be clear about this, commissioner attendance, it's secretary slash treasurer.
Okay.
Is that your understanding? Is that okay?
Are there additional things that are involved?
So Dr. Shu works with the treasurer, works with former.
I'd like to know, what all is involved.
Mostly you can join that some kind, if you have a financial budget, the money.
Okay.
You are good at mathematical, meeting you,
So,
consult you.
for example, if the finance committee meets, is
Yeah,
that
something, yeah.
something that would entail?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
That's it? Okay, I'm fine with
The
that.
majority are volunteer.
All right. So I suppose if Mr. Burton's on the finance committee and I were to join in helping the finance committee, we would just have to, according to
Okay,
Sunshine,
yeah.
notice
Okay.
the meeting
Yeah,
and make it available to the public.
yes. Also before that, after that, we can
Okay,
discussion there, either by,
sure.
All right. All right, thank you. That's it.
Thank you, Ms. Hodges.
So, Ms. Hodges, would you do?
you're
Oh, I have, all right,
number 2.
number 2. Thank you for electing me again, and
New chair.
and I get a
get a plaque.
I get a
Oh,
plaque. All right.
First, Tricia Baker was the 6-month chair. I made a project for.
Very nice.
And she said at the head of everyone, welcome, and contribution all of you. So you know,
This is Tricia.
Tricia, yeah.
Okay.
She took a picture. You can call her.
She took a picture.
Okay. Yeah, email she.
You're gonna mail it to her?
Yeah. we'll mail it to her. Okay, thank you. Another one is for yourself.
Thank
You
you.
want it? I guess we should.
Thank you, thank you.
Want to read it then? Let's check.
So. You want to read that for me?
Read it, you can read it.
An appreciation.
In appreciation, no, in recognition.
Oh, sorry.
You want to, you can read it for her?
You want me to read it?
Mr. Vice Chair.
In recognition, hold on. I'm too vain. In recognition of your hard work, dedication, commitment to the board, employees, and mission and goals of the AMCD, and serving chairperson in 2025.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman.
You didn't take a picture while I had my glasses on, did you?
Do I have to read this? Okay. This is presented to Mrs. Trish Becker in recognition of your hard work, dedication, and commitment to the board, employees, and the mission and goals of AMCD in serving as chairperson in 2025. Love to have my picture taken. I just love to have my picture. All right. Thank you. Very kind. Okay. Ms. Hodges,
Yeah.
now it's your turn.
Okay, can you give me just 1 minute to make
Sure.
sure Rick has the right PowerPoint? Dr. Qualls is going to go check.
Of course.
Well, you know what's fine. If it's too big of a, I can go from my memory. Okay, is he?
He's looking for his email.
Oh, okay, okay.
Because it's not like automatically connected in there.
I mean, does he have the?
I have the other one ready to go.
Is that? Let's do that one. I I hate to, I'm so sorry.
Well, can I ask a question?
Yes, please,
Not
ask
about
questions.
your,
Good.
it's about the
Yes, talk
5-year
to him.
plan.
Mhm.
Do we offer any scholarships? Like college scholarships with an intern?
We pay, most of that we pay intern.
'Cause I know I saw in here where you, continuing education for employees. I didn't know if you offer the public scholarships.
No, just
No?
not for
But we
public.
do-
I didn't know if it was illegal too, because you're taking taxpayers' money and then giving it back
No,
out.
we do not.
Is
Just
that against the
intern-
rules?
Intern coming, we pay for, usually pay high school too, not high school, usually we don't pay. The limited, also pay with through grant, through different money, also we budget for every year. So we, lots of intern, lots of grant money, soft money, okay. We need a training there, also we need a labor, we can help with that.
Oh, I didn't know if y'all offered a scholarship and then, because I know a couple buddies of mine in college were doctors and they took
Yeah, that's
scholarships
for
to
the
serve
hourly scholarship
in
of our
smaller
employees.
communities for 5 years and it was paid for. I didn't know.
Now we pay our employer full-time, continue education grade. They can work here full-time over 1 year, they're eligible for your high education. Then the PhD, we mostly through the grant, because they through together with cooperation with the university, mostly with the University of Florida. The professor get a grant, they definitely need to fund the student to work together. Same mission, yeah. That's the
He
only,
has it pulled up, like it's, is it there?
Oh, it's already.
Well, he just got in his email, so he'll be able to pull it up now.
I update that.
Can I ask this question, Mr. Scott?
Yes, sir.
The education center, is there like a 5-year plan to where it'd be self-sufficient? Or are we always gonna need money to subsidize? Which is fine, I was just ever curious.
No,
Is that
I see it's a gift to the community, and I do not see it as a profit-making center. It's like the closest thing to the federal government that ever made money these days is debatable is the post office. So I don't see us being like even close to the post office.
Okay, no, I
It's
just
not,
thought
it's
that'd
not,
be a
it
bonus.
does not look
yeah.
like a profit center.
No, I wasn't looking for that, I was just being self-sufficient.
Um,
But no,
we are hedging some money because we are bringing in a little bit of money, and the admission thing was like foregone, and so I did not see it as a profit center, you know.
So the merchandise is just a bonus too?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I was saying,
We just budget slightly above what we buy them for, like very slightly. We try to make
Yeah,
it
oh,
small.
yeah, no, I got you, cool.
I was saying, back to Chair, I would
Go ahead,
answer
please.
this question. You know that, so the education center, we educate public so many. You know, mosquito-borne disease, it's a very dangerous disease. And 2016, the Zika outbreak, so that in Florida too, we have a unique case baby. After baby born the small height, so whole life either disabled, or you need tax money to pay for that. So you can each one incur the cost about estimated $2 million. So you have, if it's our education, can save 2 babies or be $4 million last year. So that's one. Also, like a West Nile, East Equine. East Equine is fertility 50%. West Nile, each case, dengue fever, and the cost of $26,000 per person per unique case. Because they need a sick leaving 2 days, 2 weeks, and medication. So that's calculations. If we can prevent this kind of unique case, that's a lot of money. Obviously, our Xinjiang County is one of the top tourist area. So they can see last year, we accepted more than 12,000 visitors. And about 50 to 60% out of our county, including international, including other states. Based on tourist estimate, currently one tourist, if you can bring one tourist, then need hotel, food, gasoline, and it costs about $800 per person. If we calculation, we have about 5,000 people coming. That's about $400,000 a year. That's money. So that's we tax people, local people. We bring more tax money, and the tourist business here. So that's I feel comfortable to collect a little bit of tax money, and that's the reason you can look in different way. So one public coming to here asking me, how can you pay off for after calculation? I said, with 15 years, 20 years, maximum 20 years, you can pay it for because the great business is here. Also, through our workshop, you can see agenda, international, and other state university coming here. Also, bring lots of cooperation. That's why it's very, very attractive for, good for business, good for revenue for people. Then we tax the people, little money, keep it there. That's the last couple of years, for more about discussion about should we charge administration fee or not. So there is finally is majority vote and no charge. You can education to all people, beneficial for mosquito control, beneficial for citizens. So they can, here tourists invade species, invade travel-related disease, always happen. We can prevent it. That's a big help of our program. Thank you.
Awesome.
In September of 2024, the board put a cap for $50,000 that periodic expenditures on the museum. Currently, they're staying right at that. So, it's a lot of money now that we have it. I think that the challenge is making sure we, maintain fiscal responsibility with it and maintain under that.
I agree.
All right.
All right.
Awesome. There's a power, here we go. Awesome. So thank you, first of all, Dr. Hsu for allowing me to come and do this presentation. At Dr. Hsu's request, he likes for the district attorney in the beginning of the year to do this presentation, particularly for our new commissioners here. So I appreciate that. As most of you already know, I am a city, county, and local government lawyer. I love what I do. I've been practicing in this area over 23 years of practice, but 18 specific years in this area. And I'm board certified in city, county, and local government law, so that means I took an extra hard test to be able to hold myself out as a city, county, and local government lawyer expert. So with that, let's dig into the Sunshine Law. Typically, elected officials, there's 3 areas of the law that you really need to be familiar with. There's ethics, there's public records, and then there's the Sunshine Law. Today, we're just going to focus on the Sunshine Law. And so I always like to start this presentation with the why, behind the what, so that it sticks a little bit better, because oftentimes with the Sunshine Law, it's really more about the intent of the law and the spirit of the law sometimes and what the law actually says, particularly when it comes to the perception and the optics of elected officials. So basically, we got to a place of having something called the Sunshine Law here in Florida, because the reality was we had a lot of backroom politics and corruption that was going on back in the late 1960s. People were making decisions behind closed doors, and we pretty much had, a populace at the time that said, we're the taxpayers, and we want to know what you're doing, how you come to make those decisions. And so we had a Florida legislature at the time that instituted what we know today to be the Florida Sunshine Law. It was such a big deal after we passed statutes in 1967 that it was then, after that time, enacted in our Florida Constitution. So again, it was a big deal for the citizens out there that we wanted to make sure that regardless of the change in the legislature, we would place it in our Constitution, which, as you all know, to remove anything from our Florida Constitution is a much higher bar in terms of just changing out the laws from session to session. So that's articulated in Article 1, Section 24 of the Florida Constitution, the right of citizens to basically know what you do out in the open, out in the sunshine. So the actual Florida statute provision is 286.011, and it says all meetings of any board or commission of any county, municipal, corporation, including meetings with or attended by any person elected to such board. So even when you have been just elected and you haven't yet taken office, you are actually bound by the Sunshine Law, at which official acts are to be taken and are declared to be public meetings open to the public at all times. The board or commission must provide reasonable notice of those meetings. And must also take minutes. Okay. So Article 24, Section 24 of the Constitution articulates that. What I was just reading was the Florida statute. So this is the same language that's mimicked in the actual body of our Florida Constitution. So basically, to break that language down, a public meeting it's a meeting, a conversation, discussion with two or more, in your case, commissioners, because that's what we call you. But if you were sitting on a council or sitting on a board, be board members, council. But it's two or more commissioners of the same entity. So this is the same public body discussing a matter that is likely or foreseeably to be considered by that public body in that discussion. So I like to point out, so again, it's a conversation, that's important, so it's got to be a two-way dialogue, and we'll get into elected officials being able to send one-way communication. But it's always got to be that two-way dialogue between two members, two commissioners sitting on the same body, and you're talking about something that would foreseeably come before your board. So in your case, you're the Anastasia Mosquito Control District, so any and everything related to mosquitoes ever would be something that if you were having a conversation between yourselves, you need to actually go through the legal requirements to have that meeting notice. So the law requires that the meeting is open and accessible. So what that means is actually the venue that you hold your meetings. There are actually plenty of AGO opinions that talk about, we had elected officials at one time that were having meetings at a restaurant. They were having meetings in their offices. And there's plenty of law there that says that those types of small, tight spaces basically intimidate the public, and the public doesn't want to come. And so we've got to make sure that it's an open, accessible room, just like the one that we're meeting in today. We also need to make sure we notice the meeting, and we need to make sure we give reasonable notice to the public. So having a meeting on the fly, putting notice out the day before that you're going to have a meeting, that's not going to be advised to meet the requirements of the Sunshine Law. So the qualifier is reasonable notice. So what's reasonable? If a hurricane's about to come and you need to quickly convene, 2 hours may be very reasonable for that scenario. But if it's a regular meeting, you're going to need to give more time to the public than that. And what I'm focusing on here is, again, the law that I just cited. That's in Florida Statutes 286. You are also bound by Chapter 189, which is a whole separate other section of the Florida statutes that applies to special districts such as yourself. You also have to take written minutes so that if the public isn't able to attend, they should be able to look into, reach out to Dr. Shu or reach out to Brandy to figure out what happened at the meeting that they weren't able to attend. And the type of meetings the type of minutes that you take can, I've seen them where it's verbatim. You can have a court reporter come in and transcribe your meetings. I've also seen them where they're just one-pagers and they're very general. Either one of those are okay. The law doesn't get that specific. And then more importantly, because we've actually been working on this as a district, is the public participation. This is something that came about around 2011. And most jurisdictions were already doing this. Most jurisdictions had a public comment period on their agendas. The difference here is that the law requires that you have to permit the public to have an opportunity to comment, to give that input prior to your vote on a matter that you're going to be voting on. And it's only matters that you'll be voting on. So if you're just having a presentation about something, you actually the public doesn't have a right to chime in on that. unless you specifically write that in your policy, and that's essentially what we've done as a district. So we actually allow our public to come in and not just comment on those things that we're voting on, but the members of the public could also comment on a presentation as well. So what meetings are applicable? There's nothing on here. Why is, okay, here we go. District board meetings, that's obvious, that's a meeting like today. Committee or subcommittee meetings, I think there's a delay. It is, and it's stuck.
You asked Rick to advance.
Hey, Rick? Here we go. Okay. Casual gatherings. So if two of you were to be invited to a county function, or let's say two of you were to be invited to a resident's home, and you showed up together, well, the sunshine law is going to still apply in that instance. And so if you're talking about things that could come before your board, the council would be, don't talk about those things in that casual setting. Chance encounters, and you all are very active in the community, so it's very likely that you would have chance encounters with each other. So who can you meet with? You can meet with a member of another body. So you can meet with your county commissioners for St. Johns County. That's totally fine because they don't serve on the Anastasia Mosquito Control District. You can meet with Dr. Qualls, you can meet with Brandy, you can meet with Dr. Shue, you can meet with a group of citizens, you can meet with me as your attorney. It's not a problem. Notice all of the people that are being listed here, obviously Dr. Shue, are not people that are sitting on your board with you. So here are some things that you can do. You can write letters of statements of position. I haven't seen this here. This is really for larger bodies, I think, where there's way more traffic and way more action items that's being taken up. I apologize, there's a delay in my slides here. Hey, Rick, do you mind going ahead and advancing the rest of these points on the slide? You can go ahead and advance all of them. But you can do a statement of prospective action. These are the reason why this is okay. Again, remember I indicated it's a dialogue. So I'm sorry, Rick, go back to the last slide. It has to be a dialogue. So one-way communication saying, I am opposed, not that any one of you would ever say this, I'm opposed to the education center, or I really like the education center to the rest of your commissioners, something statement like that would be totally okay. But if you were to say, man, I'm opposed to the education center because it's not sustainable, and don't you think if we have to spend over $1 million a year, this is something that we ought to nix altogether, you're inviting that response from another commissioner. So that's going to be something that we're going to say that's a no-no too. Okay, you can advance now to the next slide. Rick. Okay. So what are the types of other things? This is kind of obvious, but I always like to point this out, especially in this age of social media, blogs, Twitter. You'd be surprised the number of case law and opinions that are out there when you have Twitter accounts. And one elected official posts something on their Twitter about another one, the other one responds on their own Twitter account. But if they're effectively talking to each other, that's actually a sunshine law violation. So telephone, emails, texts, it doesn't really matter the mode of the communication. It could be the stork coming in with a message, going back and forth between two commissioners. So don't get caught up on the manner or the mode in which you communicate. If it's a communication, a dialogue, then that's going to be a violation. If it is not a meeting that's properly noticed, open and accessible, and you're taking minutes. Correspondence, the liaison. This is a good one that isn't always obvious. If I were acting as a liaison between two of you, so Commissioner Counts comes to me and says, "Oh, Lasikia, I really think I'm going to vote yes on this matter. Can you please go find out what Commissioner Timmis is going to say?" And then I go over to Commissioner Timmis, and Commissioner says, "Yes, I'm going to vote. You're going to vote no on that matter." And then I go back and give that information to Commissioner Counts. Obviously, that's going to be a sunshine violation. So for staff, if you are having conversations with multiple commissioners, the counsel to the staff is, as staff, you shouldn't be sharing those conversations with other commissioners because you could actually be teetering on a sunshine, facilitating a sunshine violation. So this is important. We can just look, just Google search elected officials in our own area, right here in our own backyard. City of Jacksonville actually got in some trouble almost several decades ago. But, it's serious. It's a big deal. For you to violate the sunshine, you could serve jail time. So it's not something that you should take lightly. Even with unintentional violations, you could be assessed a $500 penalty. Civil lawsuits, usually when there's a sunshine law violation, the state attorney, of course, would be the one that's investigating that or bringing that charge. And you might, people might think, well, why would the state attorney care about the, AMCD mosquito control district? Really it just depends. When there are obvious, blatant violations of the law, state attorney's going to be right there. Anytime we're kind of pushing the envelope, and what I mean by that is, let's go back to that notice period where, you may have, there are some jurisdictions that actually allow, having meetings upon 24-hour notice. So technically it's you permitted in your own rules. And but if you're constantly pushing the envelope, every single meeting you're having is that 24-hour notice. I mean, those are the types of things that will get the attention of people like the state attorneys and the grand juries involved in our local government. Okay, and then obviously high-profile issues, any high-profile issues that the district might be dealing with. So what will get a private party to sue? So this is a private citizen going after the district. Any sort of big contract award, having built your millions of dollars education center, those types of things will get a citizen interested. Citizens thinking that their rights are being taken away. So when we start talking about meeting the requirements of the law under sunshine or meeting the requirements of the law under public records, those types of things can move a citizen to want to actually file a lawsuit against the district, and that's, of course, what we don't want. And then matters affecting, a person's job, whether that's a citizen's job or one of your employees. I mean, these are all kind of things that might get people upset enough where they're actually taking legal action. So if it matters enough, I can tell you as a lawyer, and I'm sure Commissioner Timmis will tell you as well, someone will sue. And so when they do sue for a sunshine law violation, you could personally be responsible for having to pay attorney's fees, depending on if it's an intentional violation. You could be subpoenaed. Who likes to be subpoenaed? If you've ever been subpoenaed in your life, I mean, who wants to be a part of that? And you're in the public limelight. You're on trial, and so these are all things to actually think about. Would you want to be sitting in front of getting your deposition done, asking you questions about whether or not you violate the sunshine law or not? And then the last thing that many people don't think about, aside from all the litigation aspects of it, is that the action that the district takes, if you haven't met those requirements, you're not meeting in an open room, you're not taking your minutes, you're not having that reasonable notice, the action that the district took at that meeting could be invalidated. And so it's void and of no effect. So that's kind of a big deal. And so I always like to close out with this slide. You see it here. So you've got a group of commissioners, all those in favor of what we discuss in our email thread at Larry's son's birthday party, say aye. Then everybody's saying aye. And then you've got these members of the public, I have no idea what's going on. I thought this meeting was open. So we want to avoid, that scenario. Okay, and so all I have now are a couple of slides here. Dr. Hsu wanted me to go over a few things that you all know by now, but some of the new commissioners may not, about the annual training requirement. So this is a requirement that as elected officials, you are required to get a certain amount of training every year, 4 hours of ethics. My 15 minutes will not count towards any of this 4 hours of training, but you get this training, as it says here, in the Code of Ethics, public records, and public meetings. So those three biggest areas that we were talking about, you are now required to have 4 hours of training. And typically, you get this training with the various mosquito control district conferences that you go to. So there's lots of opportunities throughout the year to get this training. The other thing that we wanted to touch on is this responsibility to fill out your financial disclosures. So as elected officials, you have to fill out the heightened level of full financial disclosures. And those are due for the preceding year by July 1st. So for last year's time, you'll be filling out this electronically. So all of you should be registered in our system through the State Commission on Ethics to be able to just easily submit that form electronically. But it's due July 1, so that's a date that you need to keep into your mind. And as we get to that date, I'll definitely remind you. There's a grace period until September 1, but then after September 1 is an automatic fine of $25. And this board has been very good about making sure, with the help of Dr. Shu, that you guys have your paperwork on time. So that's a good thing. And then the last slide here is just, kind of reminding you, there are a lot of statutes that are applicable to you as a board. 286, that's our open meetings that we were talking about. 119 is public records. 112 is ethics. 189 is governing special districts, independent districts like yourself. And then you have 388, which is your main chapter that governs all mosquito control districts in Florida. And then you have your own charter, actually, that applies to you as well. So there's a lot of layers of laws that apply. But here, you see your primary responsibility here is very broad. As the Board of Commissioners, you may do any and all things necessary for the control and elimination of all species of mosquitoes and other arthropods of public health importance. So you have a pretty broad reach there in terms of what your duties are. And then in your board policy, you as a board has adopted, and I'll go over these quick bullet points, duties and responsibilities of commissioners. And all of you by now have this board handbook with all of these policies. But for the new commissioner, commissioner counts for your benefit. As a board, it states that a commissioner voluntarily accepts office. A commissioner shall accomplish the duties and responsibilities of commissioners as outlined in Chapter 388. Commissioners shall learn, so these are charges that you place on yourself in addition to what's in Chapter 388. Commissioners shall learn about mosquito biology and mosquito control practices in order to make informed decisions on district matters. And so you accomplish this throughout the year by the various trainings that you go to make sure you're learning about the subject matter. The Board of Commissioners shall elect officers. We just did that today, so that's good. Check that box. Employ a competent director. We've done that. Engage the services of an attorney. You have me. Contract with your auditor. You do have an independent auditor. And any other individuals or companies. The commission shall establish policy, and the director shall be instructed to carry out that policy. So that's the dynamic between you as a board and your director. You as a board, you're the governing body over the policy, and the director is the one that's implementing that policy. And then the last thing is the commissioner shall accept the primary responsibility for financial control. So even though you've got a director who's implementing, you've got a CFO, at the end of the day, the buck stops with obviously you as the elected officials, commissioners that's overseeing all of those things. So that's all I have. I think that's all I have. That's my last slide. And so if you have any questions, feel free to ask them.
Thanks, Mrs. Siki. As an attorney, I can definitely speak as to your level of professionalism, and certainly it's not easy to get board certified. So that is, for those who don't know, very, very difficult and difficult to maintain. So very thankful for your service up to now.
Thank you for that.
Will the DOD short course meeting cover some of our requirements for education this year?
I'm not familiar. Doctor?
It doesn't give a continued education. It's just for basic education.
Okay, but it doesn't
Doesn't
cover.
count. We throughout Florida, special district or FA, MU, every year can sell it to you $79.
Right.
Where it's online, you can anytime you can take it.
Okay, the same thing as last year?
Yeah, same thing, yeah.
Okay. All right, very good. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Hodges. All right. Dr. Shu, do you have a report?
Thank you, yeah. I hope everybody has a good holiday and our employee get back to work. Then they prepare for surveillance, so that everything's ready. And everybody seems, a lot of people very happy to back to work. Yeah, so some of them want to get a little more off. So the other thing that I distributed yesterday passed Department of Health inspection for biosafety and bio-waste. So the passed just issue, yesterday we received the certification. Every year we do have a several inspection, Department of Agriculture, Department of Health, Department of Environment Protection Agents, and the fire, rescue, many other inspection that give give after inspection, look up documentation, and record and many procedure that can issue you pass or not. So that's very, very interesting. We can take care of very, very careful, especially how have capability and the fuel tank and the pesticides. So safety is really number one. The other thing that yesterday we held one lecture and one professor from Korea, the university professor, brought his AI truck. So try to develop a collaboration with us so that hopefully you can together doing some kind of grant application and feature update our surveillance technology. So that tomorrow we have another professor and from the University of Wisconsin. And she's last year she was the president of the Society of Ecology Ecology. She brought her family coming to visit her. So we can looking for any collaboration. 4 or 5 years ago, we together applied an NIH education grant, submitted grant, we are part of that, but didn't get funding. So that's why we still looking for any opportunity to collaboration to promote public education, employee training. Other than that, we have employee and full-time employee and new molecular entomologist, and she from UF, and just joined last Monday. So she's excellent. I also have 2 part-time come back before the volunteer and in the education center. So we have had 1 full-time intern student from UNF, work with the Youth Vector Education Center. Also, the touch that in your board book, we have the annual 2025 annual program report. So lots of information. That's how year we did the work. So that any question, any correction, any import, they let me know. Really thank you the staff and Brad and other people that doing good work hard and put that together. So our staff, everybody make a contribution. Yeah, so that after I read this correct several times, look at it, I'm very satisfied, and I pray that we have a good, very good team and good employee work together, so they can get this done. So that's a request by law. We have to publish in the website. Anytime anything you can give import. Also, we print some copy, make a good copy for Tallahassee legislation. You can see the 3rd page. You have visited our representative last year, also our senator and representative come to visit that will distribute one of these for the officer can see what's going on. Thank you for appreciate their help in the legislation, help the mosquito control budget, everything. Thank you. Any question? Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shu. Ms. Hodges, do you have a report?
Nothing other than it's great to see everybody. Happy New Year and a special welcome to our new Commissioner House.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
I'd just like to say something real quick. So at some point, if I'd like everybody to attend if they want to, I'd like to meet with the Finance Committee to just take a deep dive at the budget and take a look at things I've always wanted to do that, but particularly with the property tax reform coming up, I think we really need to be prepared and identify certain things that we can look at. Certainly, we should always be doing that, but I think the property tax reform it's going to happen to some extent.
Right.
And that just highlights it even more, I believe. So that's something that, I believe Mr. Burton's on the Finance Committee. If I attend and anybody else attends from the board, we'll have to notice. But I think that would be prudent, always prudent to do, but certainly prudent at this point in time.
Mr. Burton, do you have any comments?
No.
Report?
No, that'd be wonderful. I'll do it anytime.
Awesome.
Let me know.
I agree. I think that's well said.
I'll go through Ms. Hodges just to make sure we do it properly.
All right.
And,
Thank you.
anybody can attend if they'd like to. Yeah.
Mr. Counts, do you have any comments or?
Well, I've been drinking out of the fire hose proverbially since last week when I met with Dr. Dude there. Yeah, just I'm glad to, I guess, finally officially take this in as commissioner, and a lot of stuff more I got to look over and try to digest and learn about it. I figured I knew pretty good about skeeters. We live out there in Hastings, so we got some turkey-sized ones out there, so we need to maybe have a little bit more exploration out there. I got some I don't think y'all seen before. But yeah, it's quite a program y'all have here, and it's definitely a must in Florida. And the education part of it, I really like. The public needs to be educated on everything, and especially if they're paying for it. We need to try to make every effort we can to inform them and encourage them to, learn about what it's like in Florida and what we have to deal with and what the causes of a lot of these diseases came from years ago, and how it affects our lifestyle now. So anyway, I'm glad to be a part of it, glad to meet everybody, and appreciate the welcome. And hopefully we can do some more good government here.
All right, thank you.
Mhm.
Commissioner LeBlanc?
All right, I'd like to thank the staff for all their hard work and welcome our new commissioner here.
Thank you.
Thank you. And with that, our meeting is adjourned.